What's up? Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the test we performed earlier. Test? Oh, on the bloody dagger. That's the weapon Maya Fey used when she fought the victim. That we think. We haven't even done fingerprint tests. What are the results? Was it the victim's blood? Due to time constraints, a full test was impossible, but... there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on the dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger, then whose was it? Blood doesn't match the victim's. I'm guessing it's probably Maya's, right? Sure, both defense and prosecution know this, but the trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides need to show some firm evidence with their claims. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking, so let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well. Please bring in the last witness. This is the first time Maya's been on the stand in a long time, right? Maya Fey, my profession is, I'm the assistant manager of Wright & Co. Law. She didn't say that she's a medium. According to the magazine, you're a spirit medium of the crane channeling technique. I'm frightened. The Fey clan, I don't want any more to do with it. Damn. Very well. Now then, Miss Faye, when the event occurred, you were in the garden of the Inner Temple, and you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Dunham's murder. Is this correct? I, didn't see anything. Straighten up this instant, young lady. Huh? Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later. But your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. There's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witnesses come out, and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Yes, Your Honor. So we're really never gonna bring up the fact that her hair color was different. Because we have a picture of Elise Dunham with brown hair here. But she has gray hair here, or black hair here. Passing through the garden, away to a spare prep room when it happened, suddenly someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me." And something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness. So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. The person who hit you, it was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? Sorry, Nick. I just couldn't see. I don't know who it was. Think hard. Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't. Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. Seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well, Mr. Wright, please begin your cross. It doesn't look well at all. Who else was on the Inner Temple side that night? Sister Bikini, but I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well. The day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. Did Iris actually come later, like she said? Well, let me think. She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired. No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come when I was preparing for the training. Suddenly, somebody struck me over the head. You're right, I was hit from behind. After that, your attacker was in front of you. I can't remember. Press her harder. Why didn't you see this person? It was... Oh yeah, that's it. It was dark. Not good to have too much light around when somebody is undergoing spiritual training. There's an earlier testimony to that effect. It was dark in the garden on the night of the crime. I thought they literally said that the lanterns were lit on the night of the crime. Well, maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Based on the evidence given in testimony, the attacker was likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Dunham, Dahlia Hawthorne. Except Maya didn't exactly get to... I don't know why they're being like... I don't know. Continue with testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? Stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. Happened afterwards. My attacker was in front of me, blocking my escape, I think. After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at the time. What were the two things? My name is Maya Faye. 1 + 1 = 2. Some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was. Actions are understandable given the circumstances, so what did you do then? She wrote down her name. I think I screamed, "Help me." I think you screamed, but you're not sure. I was a complete wreck. It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it man, woman, adult, child? I had no idea. I was scared out of my wits. Believe me, I would have soiled my robes. I thought this person might attack me, so Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that was my last hope. She said she screamed help me, but last hope. What is this my last hope stuff? You said my last hope. You were facing an attacker you couldn't see and you screamed, right? You screamed help me. Testify that you screamed because you thought it was your last hope. What do you call it when that happens? Desperation? I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at. She was screaming for help from she saw somebody. It was the person behind my attacker I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming to for help. I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out. Oh. Are you absolutely sure what you're saying? Behind the attacker there was another person. I meant to keep that part a secret. Uh-oh. It was Pearl. Takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say. A ton of pressure. You're in the court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. The information you presented is vital. I want you to add it to testimony. I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. A man? See, I couldn't see. Lantern light isn't very bright. There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. You know what they say, under the lantern darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker who was closer. There weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Something warm splashed over me. Didn't know what it was at the time. I think it was probably blood. At that moment I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm pretty sure blood got on everything around me. That's when I lost consciousness. How were you saved? You don't even remember that? I haven't any idea. I really don't know what happened at all. That's too bad. Tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts, and right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. There was a man standing behind your attacker. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Dunham, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. You know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed a huge problem with her testimony. That's why she said the lamp was both on and off. Hey, Hyjum. Night of the crime, the stone lantern was out of commission. It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. Mr. Godot, explain this. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of café au lait. Is that even legal? Mr. Trite's words are the milk and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon. I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. Must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. Right, but that's not gonna cut it. There was truly no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony. Recall the witness's statement. She said she didn't know whether if it was a man, woman, adult, or child. Yet the witness was describing the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. She quite clearly described him as a man. That'd have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. Hey Shiro. What's up? What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions? Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. There are some things you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark, and now you're trying to cover for him. Cover for the man that killed her mother? There's one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. So who is the attacker? It's not Larry, it's not Gumshoe, and it's not Edgeworth. I know those three are definitely not. It could be Godot. Or it could be someone that I don't see, like Maya's dad or something like that, just mysteriously appeared all of a sudden. You know who this man is. Though Maya doesn't know her dad, right? Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Talk a good game, Trite. Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black. What could the witness see? Calling your bluff. It's his headpiece. It's his headpiece. She saw the lights from his headpiece. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. Can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Time to show us what you've got. Who is this person that Miss Faye saw in the darkness? I just have to guess. I have no evidence. Zero evidence. All I know is that it's a man who can be seen in the dark, and Godot is literally the only person who matches that description. Unless there's some evidence? No, there's no evidence about any other person. It's just Godot. It's just Godot. Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? How do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. This is, but it can't be. That was a nice bit of deduction, Trite. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. But why would she protect him? How did he know? Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night, was it 3 glowing red lights? You're wrong. I never saw that. I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man, for a totally different reason. Okay, fine, never mind. What excuse are you gonna make up now? Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chattering? Oh, Godot's gonna be like, stop lying. If it's worth asking, ask the witness. God damn it, Godot. Oh no, she's just gonna make up a new excuse. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... The killer. When I came to, I was lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Torches were lit and the body was gone. All of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Yeah, they lit the torches around there. I'm surprised they didn't bring that up until just now. Godot's like, I plead the fifth. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No need to apologize. As Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural you'd be a little confused. Considering the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Does it? Does it? I was just lying there on the training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Torches were lit, body was gone. All the snow had been cleaned up too. The person did all that work alone. I assumed it was just a man. How do you know they were alone? So you lost consciousness in the garden. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person who carried you to the inner temple should have been the killer. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. Killer must have done it, right? I think so, but why would the killer tamper with the crime scene? There must have been something the killer desperately wanted to hide. I don't know. I think I need to gather more information before I can ask her again. So I need to press on this again. Torches were lit, body was gone. So I noticed that the whole scene had changed. Killer probably lit them since it's impossible to do any cover work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that bothers me. Why did the killer go through the effort of moving the body? And he called... Iris got called on her cell phone to do this. The only one who would any gain from that would be the only person at the inner temple, Maya. All the snow had been carefully cleaned up too. Killer cleaned the snow. Snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape. There's a lot of shovels, but they're really heavy, way too heavy for me to use. Why on earth would someone want to take snow away? Didn't you say a lot of the victims' blood sprayed onto the snow? The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered. The killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. And the writing on the lantern, Godot said earlier he couldn't see it. That's why he didn't wipe off the lantern blood. The killer wanted to hide the snow with blood on it. There was no need to remove that amount. He didn't know. He can't see red. Because everything looks red to him. Since the person did all that work alone, I assumed it was a man. Earlier, you clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker. The killer went through a lot of trouble moving body by pendulum, manipulating crime scene. For what purpose? Why would they do all that? Truth is, when I saw the crime, I felt something. I felt the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake. Everyone knew I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden, she may have thought that you had done it. You definitely would have thought so, and you're saying that's why the killer cleaned it up to make it look like nothing had happened. Certainly an important piece of information. Add that to testimony. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up. If the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect again. If that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out then, it would have been trouble. Master of Karain killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. Rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? There's a contradiction here? Or is the contradiction that the lantern wasn't cleaned? Yeah, the contradiction is that the lantern wasn't cleaned. The body was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple courtyard, then the garden, the real scene. The snow we suspect was covered in blood and was scooped up and removed. Excuse me. Reasonable to believe that all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. And what would that be? Must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. The message written in blood on the lantern. It's written very clearly on a white stone lantern, Maya. The killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe off the writing on the lantern? Yeah, it's not really a contradiction, it's just an unanswered question. Isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? That doesn't make much sense, to move the body and remove the bloody snow, and then not wipe off the incriminating thing, the most incriminating thing, the bloody writing. If that's the case, do you have any explanation for the killer's mysterious behaviors? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but leave the bloody writing? The fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern, there must be a reason. Well, yeah, he didn't see it. He couldn't see it. He can't see it. Why'd they leave it? The killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, what remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. That doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit. There's no way a normal person would miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There's no way a normal person would. There's only one person involved in this incident that could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. Who's the person who could have failed to notice the writing? Ugh, do I really need to do this? Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles, I still can't see everything. Are you not going to bring up the point in court where he was like, what writing? I don't see any writing. Is that correct? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. Okay, thank you, finally. Something that isn't hearsay. This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? Can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Trebien. Oh, that's an interesting callback. I did not think they were gonna call that back. This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time and somehow spilled coffee on. Something's still bothering me. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? See, I assumed in the moment that he was like, oh no, this is ketchup. The blood-colored stain that smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. Because didn't it come out that it's ketchup and not blood? So they red herringed us. That was a good red herring. Couldn't see the ketchup. Yeah, it was ketchup. So it made you be like, oh, it was just ketchup, and he was just like, he knew about it, but no, he didn't know about it. He couldn't see it. Oh. Ha, it's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see red writing on the lantern? Hey Gramps, don't you know? That's the reason I don't drink red tea. What tea is red? I guess there's probably some tea that's red. Yeah, that is good misdirection. Because it wasn't like it was actually blood, and then it'd be like, why did Godot not notice that there was blood? It's like, oh, it's ketchup. He just pretended that it, like, it wasn't that he was pretending to not see it. It's just he knew it was ketchup and not blood. I wasn't sure about it till now, but I can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer, but there's no going back now. Finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Dunham, also known as Miss Misty Fey. Why don't they just call her Misty Fey? Why do they keep calling her Elise Dunham? It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up quite a disquieting fact about you. Make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name written there. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, Trey. Answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. Why'd the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out the area? Killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow, and so he had to remove all of the snow. Couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? The lanterns were lit. Or the torches were lit. He would have been able to see just fine. Once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? It's Maya. Yep. Wait just a minute. What is it, witness? Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after the old bridge got fixed. Maya. Can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I'm... After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile? We established this just a while ago. Yeah, the entire time she's been channeling Dahlia, so she had no consciousness. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. For like 3 days straight. Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. Plan to cover for Godot no matter the cost. If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Let's hear her testimony. If it means we're gonna hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me, as it were, but little Pearly was there at the inner temple too. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. Found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Who is this Pearly? It's my little cousin Pearl Faye. When did you hear about this? Just a while ago when I was in the medical office. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Great thing to say under oath. It's funny. Prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Just move on to cross if the defense has no objections. It's highly unusual, but I mean, if neither of us are gonna object to hearsay, then she can just give a hearsay testimony, so. Pearly was stuck on the inner temple side that night. Where do you think Pearl slept? In the spare prep room. There's a rule that you can't enter a training hall during an acolyte's training. Why'd you go in the first place? Pearls was worried about Maya. She knew that the training I was about to undergo was very intense. Normal courts, this wouldn't fly. It would fly if no one objected. Video game logic? I mean, video game logic in a world where Dahlia got the death penalty for killing one guy, maybe two, and for stealing a diamond. Like, the fictional United States that they live in, or fictional Japan that they're technically in, like, all this shit, like, is really, really just wacky. But no, if a judge wouldn't be like, this is a hearsay thing, I'm not going to listen to it, if both the defense and the prosecution were like, I have no objections. The judge would just be like, this is stupid, but I'll let it happen. Which is what he just did. Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia, but she couldn't do it, that's why she headed to Inner Temple. Dahlia was already there, possessing the body of Elise Dunham. Next morning, she looked around, couldn't find anyone. She searched the entire Inner Temple side end to end. Pearls gets pretty scared when she's alone and there weren't any places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times. Inner Temple side has two structures, training and spare prep. There's also storage, and that's it. Pearls was looking for other people. Would she have checked the storage shack? If it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate. So it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack. Next day when the bridge was fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge. Also, this is a world where all court cases have to be resolved in 3 days because they have court cases like every 3 days. What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. Pearly says she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times. We know that she at least had one friend in the Sacred Cavern, Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock. Couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? That's when Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. First time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot? It's funny, am I imagining things, or did the fence ask me a question? What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words. Touché. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot? Hot nights and hotter coffee, that's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I would have never visited there. If it hadn't been for this case, I would have never visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains, I think I'll pass. I have to find a crack in Godot's armor while I cross-examine Maya, that is. Fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Pearly said, she said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot. Here I was thinking that you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Cut it out, you're making me blush. Truth is, there aren't many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen are all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth comb, so I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I like to hand down my verdicts in my own way, judge style. Judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style. Cheering Pearls up. Godot's investigation. He cheered Pearls up. When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked about was her cousin Maya. The bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there, she asked about you before she said a thing about herself. I noticed you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side, but I couldn't find it in me to tell her that, so I gave her my last cup. Coffee? With milk and sugar, to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened, otherwise he couldn't have killed Elise Stone. I didn't think cheering Pearls up could have been a thing. So that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. For all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her... What? Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by hue and aroma of Western tales. In the training hall? You find a stranger way to describe gravy. Oh, the photo. Or the scroll. So from there you headed for the prep room. How do I object to that? Okay, I guess that's how I object to that. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place. Why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Mr. Godot is right. The scroll shows a picture of my mother. I know you know who it is, but here's something you don't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. It's that wonderfully delicious smell. The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Why gravy? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye. Wait a minute, Nick. Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top, there's a crest there. Mark of the Master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark, then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. It's possible that he knew what the crest meant, however, he couldn't have known what she was wearing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding in the inner temple, long before the crime took place. Can I ask you just one little thing, Trait? What is it? This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak to the crime scene. Of course Godot knew about the plan. Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? I think it's just this. Orders from Morgan Fay opened once before. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Pearl found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearl's ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. You still insist this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. You just said that the instructions were hidden. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. Really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. During a visit from Pearl. Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden during one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Exclamation point. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you're the only one who could have acquired this information before the murder. Humans are afraid of the dark, and yet at the same time we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. Sorry for asking, but what does that mean? It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdrops on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness? That's right. If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural. You had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? Guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot for the same reason, huh? What, was Godot previously married to Mia or something like that? Or were they dating? It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than a stranger to you. There's one person who lies at the center of this whole story. one person that ties you and Maya inextricably together. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious. After all, she's Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your Honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court. The tragic outcome that left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise, but in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her, Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. My fault. It's my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her, the way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident, and one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. You were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. You weren't dead after all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was in a deep, deep coma. My body shut down, my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. Except for your facial hair. Apparently it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poisoned brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. The worst possible news was waiting for me. That Mia was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up. Someone like me, for someone who had slipped away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. It was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. What were your 2 reasons? First was you, trite. If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia would never have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her, but you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor? My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Fey. You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Crane Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My plan was to outwit the plan. I thought I could do that. I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. If Rose had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she would have never helped out. If Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both my accomplices, Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fae. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fae. How did you contact my mother? She had been missing for almost 20 years. Officially, yes. What do you mean, officially? Heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master had a great authority. Even without her official position, Misty still wielded great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. So my mother was cooperating with you? And he still had to kill her. Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you. That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fae if necessary. Even if it meant paying the ultimate price. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. I mean Pearl's, don't you? You had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, Pearl, what are you gonna do tonight? Well, if you'd like, come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. If only Pearl had gone to her room. But she never showed up. She was worried and followed me to the inner temple. That was the thing we were most afraid of, and that's why Misty Fae had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia into her own body. If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. As a master of Crane, Misty Fae's power was supreme, so that's how it went down. Channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Fae wouldn't be able to. My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fae. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple, just in case he needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. There's no doubt about it, you're a great defense attorney, but you're going to have to do the rest yourself. Background leading up to the incident has been laid bare. There's just one question: who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects, Maya Fae, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot. You're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own. I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia and me too. Maya, I know that. Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened? Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights were out and the whole area were dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed, and I lost consciousness. Red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them. I'm sorry, I thought I saw them, then they disappeared all of a sudden. Things break trite, even the best of theories. It is Godot, because he said that he had to get his sight checked. Who was it that stabbed Misty Fae? It looks like you still can't prove it. Rest is up to me. lights shining in the dark, I don't think you can make a mistake about that. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain, and I can't tell you that they were from Mr. Godot's mask either. Because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask, yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking the whole time, but I can't remember. After all, there was a person I couldn't identify in front of me. What did you do when you saw the red lights? Thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood? I think so. Probably just at that moment I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice. No doubt. I was in a dangerous situation. Victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? She wasn't dead, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. How do you know that? Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell from the sounds of the breathing and movement, and also the smell of blood. What did you do at that point? So the dagger has Godot's blood on it. I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do. You still see the red lights? Yes, I think so, but suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. I couldn't see them at all. Maybe the mask was damaged, or maybe it was knocked off. Maybe the batteries ran out, right, Trite? Maybe the little pinhead-looking lights were just stopped working. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Do you mean the moment that red lights went out? Yeah, that's right. The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice. The scream came from the killer? I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. Then the killer let out a scream of pain. After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess. No. Seems to make sense to me. Still kind of wonder. There's a contradiction. That interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said that she had been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. She couldn't have struck back with the sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. You're so sure, don't keep us waiting. Dahlia Hawthorne had been stabbed by the staff. What could have been used to strike back at the killer? Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree. The detective found this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. Because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Except we know that it wasn't the victim. Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. Or Maya's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. They're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it will prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite. Even he wouldn't be able to change the result of a scientific test. Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I'd be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought the dagger here to the courtroom. If I were really the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Wait a minute. And I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I need to pee. Be right back. Maya? This dagger, you said it wounded the killer. That's right. But Mr. Godot had really been cut with a dagger. His clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right? Really, Maya? He had just changed his clothes? What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder. Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there. Once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them. Never had a chance to change his clothes. But he planned it. What are my thoughts on the Cross Guild legend? They're okay. Yeah, maybe he brought a change of clothes. He knew this was happening. No one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did the judge take smart pills during the last resets? Maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on him. Know how cold it gets up there late at night? After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Yeah, but what if it didn't... What if it cut his eyes? Or his face? I think Cross Guild's decent. Kinda weird, but decent. That's all you've got. I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, she would have closed the book on this case already. Come on, Trite, can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer, but can you prove it? Take off your mask. The rare recruits are weird. The rare recruits are very weird. I don't like the rare recruit design that much. Question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Fact is, I have to prove it. That's the same thing, that's the same thing that Edgeworth said. I can prove it. I'm gonna prove your magnificent vengeance. I'm gonna bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition just as you want it. That's good. A fighter till the bitter end, Trait. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point. Why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? I'm save scumming. I don't give a shit. Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing. Trait. What do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I gotta think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross. Killer was wounded. This was proven by the blood on the dagger. Decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been blood stain on his clothing. One place the killer could have hidden his wound. I don't need to think about why there were no blood stains. I need to show how he hid the wound. End of the line. Final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Where's the location where you say this killer hid his wound? Huh? It's just behind his mask, right? Is it just Godot? You'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia? Why am I in Godot's head now? Am I confused? Surely it's not this dumb. Where the piece of evidence, like, I didn't actually have any evidence. There should have been, like, an actual piece of evidence. You're living on through him. Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Yeah, no. This is what it was. It was just a dumb thing to present in that situation. It's beneath your mask. Yeah. It's the only thing related to his mask. Him. Yeah, exactly. It should have been a multiple choice thing. It shouldn't have been evidence. It should have been a multiple choice thing. It should have been like this place or this place or this place or this place. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer had suddenly disappeared. Like, it should have been like he wasn't actually injured. He healed instantly. He had a spare pair of clothes. Something. He still has the injury or something like that. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Jesus. Just exploded. Putting his mask in evidence would be too obvious. Yeah, it should have been a multiple choice question. Instead of a pick the evidence kind of thing. Because, yeah. Profile presents don't happen like this after this game in the series. I mean, it wasn't a thing in the first game. It was only in the second and third games. Same with the Magatama Psylocke, and the first game had that single case where you had the scientific tools as opposed to the Magatama, stuff like that. So, yeah. I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you 6 years ago. You helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison, and then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care, you just kept living your pathetic happy-go-lucky life. You took the added layer of profiles, now it's only used if asking for a person again. I mean, it makes sense to have the profiles, so that way you can do the, hey, who do you think it was, kind of thing. But they really don't use it that great in this case. Because it was like, who's the killer? We know it's a man. And it's like, your options are Godot, Gumshoe, Larry, and Edgeworth. And you know it's not Edgeworth because he's out of the country. You know it's not Larry because we know exactly where he was. And we know it's not Gumshoe because he's never involved in any of the crimes. Gumshoe not once has been involved in a crime. He's always the police. Like, he's never been a suspect. He's never been a witness. He's always just been the police. I think. So, Godot is literally the only other option. Not gonna go down on that train. You'll learn if you continue the series. Yeah, I'll be playing the next games eventually. Probably not right after. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I can never forgive you, that's what I thought. I was wrong, I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was myself. You, yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia, me and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind the mask, I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya. Yeah, that was my plan, up until just now anyway. Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person that I should have gone and talked to right away. Who would that be? We're talking about Nick? I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason? No, why? I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. I think I was trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia, nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into that situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. They could have also talked to Pearl. Just straight up talking to Pearl and being like, hey Pearl, your mom is trying to kill Maya. Don't do this. You put your life on the line to save Maya. He also could have thrown away the instructions. Very easily. Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette. Part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing in front of me. Could have been Misty Faye or even that little girl, but I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. Not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? He just wanted to kill Dahlia. Like, that's just it. He wanted his chance at revenge against Dahlia. They have been simply a desire for revenge. Yeah, that sounds like what it was. He just wanted to get his revenge against Dahlia. And now I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that moment, I understood everything. I wonder if they'd ever do a game with Mia as the protagonist. Like, just a full game. That'd be cool. Then you could have Diego show up again, do more shit. Although, he was out of commission the entire time that Mia was a defense attorney. He was only there for that one court case, basically. Yeah, he only saw that one case, so he wouldn't have been there for any of those cases, actually. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando. I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me. Oh. Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding. Forget already, in my world, the color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears. Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this moment. Is he just gonna let himself die? Do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Yeah, so he wouldn't show up in a solo game about Mia. This time it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant? Yes, Your Honor. Though you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious crime. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk and I willingly cooperated anyway. Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say? There's one thing I'd like to say to Mr. Wright. I want to apologize to you. For what? For the case 5 years ago, of course. How was she involved in that case? I just remembered, weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was going to do it. She was planning to kill me. It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other. What do you mean? You and my sister, you only met twice. Huh? We only met twice? The first time you met was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the cold day she stole your cold medicine. On the day she stole your cold medicine and Doug Swallow was killed. No way, it can't be true. I mean, during our whole relationship, we were... For those 8 months, the woman you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister. It was her. I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny. Aww. You mean... That's right. I lied to you for 8 months. Damn. She hated him that much that she was like, hey, twin sister, go date this guy and try to get his necklace from him. God damn. Why would you do such a thing? Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and their surveillance, she couldn't move about freely. My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst. She thought you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice. She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance. That's why you came to me. You came to get the bottle pendant back for me in her place, but I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that had ever happened. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime and she would confer with you. I think she must have noticed. Noticed what? My feelings for you. If I had found out that she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her, even if it meant her life, or mine. After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed. I have something to say to you too. You really are the person I thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you. Aww. Why did they drop this in the last court case of the final game, where they were like, yeah, we're gonna tease that Phoenix and Maya are going to build this romantic relationship, but then in actuality, we're gonna drop that Phoenix's long-lost girlfriend shows up. But then she gets arrested, so it's okay. She's out of the picture. I'm surprised they didn't keep him bleeding. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though, right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Don't you think so, Phoenix Wright? Yeah, I think you're right. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Lee Dunham. At some point I expect you will be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned. Godot is going to be arrested. So I guess it's all over. The way everything ended was justice really served. The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand. Of course justice was served. Oh hey Mia. Surprised you didn't show up until the very end there? Proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant. But I couldn't save Mr. Armando, the man who cared so deeply for you. You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. Saved him in the only way possible. Yeah, you liberated him. He's finally free of his never-ending quest. I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you could learn from me. She's passing on? No more? You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you. Sure we'll meet again someday, Phoenix. Oh, that's it. And then Pearl's back. Handled a lot of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer. Nick. Maya? I guess it's like my sis said. Mia? What did she say? That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook. Don't worry, Phoenix will save everyone in the end. But, come on, cut it with that gloomy face. Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick. Nick single-handedly saved this entire family. Because first they were poor, and he fixed that, and then they were all going to die, and he fixed that too. How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? You were brutally attacked, you even saw your own mother murdered. Ouch! Francisca, still a softie as always, Phoenix Wright. Excellent work, Wright. Edgeworth, when did you get back? Oh, that's right, I guess no one filled her in on that. Edgeworth and Francisca actually have been helping me. Helping you? These two hadn't been there on the first day of the trial. The defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Where were you, Dick? I heard he fell into a river and caught a nasty cold, which forced him to sleep all day. He laid in his bed, shivering from his fever, with Iris's hood pulled over his head. Ooh, ouch. Talking about embarrassing, Nick. You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisca. I don't suppose... Ooh. Larry. There's room for me in this group hug, is there? We have to apologize to Larry. He was right. Larry drew what he saw. He wasn't wrong. What's with the longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone, not even once. That's not true, right, Nick? Is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Of course. I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh yeah. Those portraits you painted, they were really good. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face, huh, Edgy? Well, yes. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. What about you, Franzi? Did I draw you well, too? My beauty cannot be captured by mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something. So then you'll do it, like you promised? You're going to model? Don't get carried away. Do I have to present his artwork to him? Guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls, where could she have gone? Normally she would have made a beeline for Maya. I'll go look for her, be right back. Hey, Pearly. Right? You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you were wondering how Maya could be so cheerful despite all that has happened. Yeah. To be honest, I can't understand it either. Francisca, that's right. She lost her father fairly recently as well. Did he also get the death penalty? Probably, right? I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears, and I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can. What do you mean by now is exactly the time? Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who is hurt more deeply than Maya. Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too. Tell me, Phoenix, who is Maya Fey being strong for? Pearl. It has to be Pearl, right? Like... Poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow those instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fae clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. Maya Fey's mother was killed, and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. That's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake, until she can see her smile again. Oh, hey, Gumshoe. So this is where you were. Oh, looks like we got a bunch here. What was that for, sir? Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own. What's up, Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Congrats on your win. Let's go out tonight. Dinner's on me. My salary's just kind of gone down by a teeny bit, but it's alright. Made reservations at a first-class French restaurant. Please don't be... Please don't be... the restaurant from the other case with the shitty food. Good work, Scruffy. The whip was your reward. Gumshoe? You said first class. You don't mean très bien. Where else? God damn it. Ah, not très bien. We're doomed. Let's go, everyone. Can't keep Maggie waiting, pal. Hey, you, Crybaby. You're invited, too. Oh, forgot about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser's shack eating potatoes. You know, Maya is taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya, what's wrong? Nick, what do I do? Pearly, I can't find her anywhere. Bet she just went back home, that's all. I thought so, so I called the village, but no one has heard from her. This has never happened before. She must have been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya. But none of this was her fault. Well... If she was a little less clueless, then yeah. If we had just been honest with Pearls and told her that her mother was trying to destroy the Fey family, what should I do? Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Could you guys go on ahead? What about you? Maya and I will join you once we find Pearls. Don't worry about us, Gumshoe. Maybe a little late, but we'll definitely be there. We have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. But you're the... Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead. Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't. Where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone? Let's go, Maya. There's one place I could think that Pearls might have gone to. Back to Hazakura Temple. For Pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started. What's this? You're all back so soon? Mr. Bikini, I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here? Pearly is here? She's in the training hall. Why don't you hurry along and go see her? Pearly's not here. Maya, the hanging scroll. We cleaned it. Someone cleaned it off. It's gotta be Pearls. Mystic Maya. Pearly. Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya. Aww. I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again, because it's all my fault that Mystic Maya's mother... That's why you came here? It's the least I can do to pray for your happiness. Don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad my mother is gone, but... How do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. Oh, really? It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. My sis, my mom, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. Well, maybe. That's why I have to be strong, for all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya, I'm impressed. You really are the daughter of Mystic Misty. Sister Bikini, your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night. After dishonoring the good name of the Crane, I don't have the right to face my daughter, but still, Maya is always in my thoughts. Are we still not going to bring up how her hair is brown, but then her hair is gray, hair is brown in the photo, but then gray everywhere else. It's just a contradiction. The game just made her hair color wrong for that. It's true, she'll always be with me until the day I die. Spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? Never take the charm off until the day you die. Master's talisman. The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important, rather it was the contents. A photo? It's only natural for living creatures to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors. How old is Maya? 19, so she was 2 years old when her mom left. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. They've broken the pot once before. God, that's funny. Even when the battle is over and the bonds that connect us are severed, they always return time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone's waiting. This is a day to remember, a day when a lot of things are finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today. But I still can't. Hold on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training, I promise. I know, and I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 of you. For 3 when you come back. Wahahaha. Ho 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 hee hee hee. Alright, we're gonna have a feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Alright, Mystic Maya, I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight. You know, there's one thing I don't get, and probably don't want to, but... What is it, Nick? Reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3? Come on, what do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us. Huh? We'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. It'll be great, Nick. We're going to do the special course, naturally. That's a great idea. After all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick? You know, I was wondering if I can say just one little thing. Of course you can. I love this part. I can't wait to hear it. I'm getting goosebumps too. Well then, here goes nothing. Objection. The final objection. Really have to work extra hard now. Master of Crane and the office manager write and co-law. I have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that. I wonder if they planned on a 4th game or something and they were like, well, maybe that will happen again. Who knows? So it's true, Mr. Nick really is Mr. Maya's knight in shining armor. He went through with the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the 2 of them by making them a secret reservation. What a nice game. Aggie brought me a brand new coat as a present, pal. I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off. Yes, but somehow you just don't seem the same. Yes, a dirty, shabby old overcoat is more detective-like, sir. Don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly. Oh, gumshoe. What a way with words you have. Oh, it's, Andrews. Adrian. Mr. Wright, I'm once again in your debt. Thank you. The Treasures of Crane exhibit was a great success. Got to see Miss Von Karma. Hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use a whip and said that I must show you what I've learned. Very funny. Ron, Desiree and I started a company called Mask to Mask Consulting, dedicated to stopping evil plans of all the criminals in the city. Our motto is cut it out, please. Pretty cute, huh? I guess he never got found guilty for all the other thefts that he did. We also sell plans to criminals. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I wonder if we're the worst criminals. Truly budding criminal enterprise. I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Don Tigre. So I lent him $500,000 and a tea set. A special thick tea, one I mixed with my own 2 hands. Bet he's drinking it now. Win through compromise. Hee hee hee. Thick tea? Ugh, gross. I'm old and in the way, a wrinkly, grumpy, clown-nosed waste of flesh. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids had a birthday party for me the other day. Talk about embarrassing. 69 years old and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper. One person did the music for this game, and probably the other games. As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elg. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adamada. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly. All of them are palindrome names. Kemi Kimura. Sound effects. My, more reporters? Since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provided such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can hardly wait for Iris to come back. Oh, Iris isn't sentenced to death. Nice. I guess that makes sense because Morgan wasn't sentenced to death either, even though she was an accomplice. Turned into such a respectable man, Feeney. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed. So Phoenix is still in love with Iris. He's not in love with Maya. That's interesting. Phoenix Wright, Ben Grauman Judge. I don't think they credited the voice actors. Sohn King, Miles Edgeworth. I don't remember the other games them crediting the voice actors. Christina Catano, Mia Fey. Diego Armando Godot, James C. Wilson. I feel like I recognized that name before. Francisca von Karma, Janet Sue. Winston Payne, David Crislip. Wendy Oldbag. Back from a long and tiring vacation and no one is here to greet me. I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy quit and now I've got no one. What kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyways? With all the flashing light switches, I feel like some sort of space alien. Now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought back for everyone? Oh god, and now she's just talking. Blabbering on, as she does. I love these kinds of credits. Finally found something I love to do. Franzie's Whippy Whip Trip is going to turn the art world on its head. I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I'm an artist. A really good portrait artist. I'm not a loser after all. I hope Larry in the future game is just successful as an artist, but still an airhead. See, look at that. If Larry did that, that is really good. We never figure out what happened to Godot, huh? He dies, apparently. Apparently he dies. I mean, it seems like murderers are sentenced to death, so Godot dying makes sense. Great game. Great game. Loved it. Fantastic game. What time is it? 2:30. I'm gonna take another quick break. Excuse me. I'm gonna put the rest of this coffee away because I can't drink the rest of this. Too much coffee. I don't know. What could I do? I can start Persona 5 Tactica. You know what? Why not? Yeah. Take a quick break. When I come back, Persona 5 Tactica. Let me just put this coffee away because it's making my stomach hurt. Because it's probably just like too much coffee. I'll be back. stomach was not feeling great for one. Let me change the game to Persona 5 Tactica. Let me update the titles to... Uh-oh. Refresh. Alright. Exit Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Also uninstall. Are you sure? Yes. Godspeed, Phoenix Wright. I'll see you next time. Now we're playing Persona 5 Tactica. Let's see if the audio is super loud in this game or if I can turn it back to normal. Because Phoenix Wright is super loud. Sure. Accept all changes. Yeah, that's fine. Do whatever you need to do. This game will feature flashing screens and bright... Okay, I didn't get time to read it. Seizure warning. TLDR. As far as I know, this game is pretty short compared to the RPG. Version of the game. It's not a 100-hour game by any means. Is that the villain? Everyone's got their signature guns. Music is kind of like it gives very Kingdom Hearts vibes.
Let's go. Okay. Roger that. Here I come. Let's do this. It's my Leave it to me. Persona 5 Tactica.
Okay, it is a little quiet. Persona 5 Tactica.
Persona 5 Tactica.
Settings. Audio settings. Okay, I can set it to normal.
Persona 5 Tactica.
Subtitles on, captions on. Confirm, yes. Gameplay settings, autosave on, persona registration on. Interesting. Firing direction indicator. Vibration on. Camera shake. I'll leave it in case it becomes annoying. Screen brightness. Let's do 1. Let's turn this off for now. Let's see how it looks. Graphics. Full screen. VSync. Off. Just limit lighting at 120. Everything should be on high. Controls. I'm using gamepad, so default gamepad should be good. No localization credits. New game. Let's do hard. Enter name. What is his canon name? Joker persona name. It's Akira. Yeah. Akira. Kurusu. Or is that technically backwards? I wish it would say first name, last name. I don't know which one's supposed to be his first name or last name. Name order. First name, last name in the Steam US version. Okay. It looks like Ren is the canon name, but Akira is the manga name. Oh well. Start the game as Akira Kurusu. Actually, hold on. Yeah, no, that's fine. I was gonna change his name to the inside joke, but it's fine.
The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven.
Why'd they... Paradise Lost by John Milton. Oh, that's why. It's a quote. National diet.
It's no surprise that his disappearance has rocked the political world.
Button guide. X for auto.
Whether it's due to illness, an accident, or something worse, all we know so far is that rumors are spreading fast.
Full voice acting?
If I may ask, how much longer do you think you can keep a handle on this? I was assured I'd be fine, but the flies have already started buzzing around me.
Oh, there's nothing for you to worry about. This will all be over soon enough. He'd have to defy us to stop us, and we both know that won't happen.
Ha! That's certainly true. With that off my mind, I trust matters on your own end are proceeding smoothly.
Indeed, the agreement's going exactly as arranged. All our dreams will be within our reach soon enough. We merely need to hold out for a bit longer.
Yes, it will truly be a dream when that day comes.
He sounds like the voice actor for fake Igor. LeBlanc.
We're back! Oof, cold.
Welcome back. Still that bad out? He's fixing some coffee for you.
Oh, I'm saved. I was worried we weren't gonna make it for a bit there. I mean, just look at Mona.
Oh, he's all curled up in a ball. Don't you just love it when cats do that?
Quit poking me. And I'm not a cat.
Good old Mona.
Phew! I feel my HP coming back.
And for you, Morgana?
I'll take a little warm milk. And make sure it's from the cheap stock. You could save that cheap stuff you bought for your cooking. Oh, come on. Just how badly have we spoiled you, Mona?
I've got some over here for you.
Cats can't digest milk.
When it's this cold out, everybody wants to stay inside. Not just the shut-ins. Sojiro spent half the morning grumbling that he won't get any customers today.
At first I was happy we had the place to ourselves, but now I feel kind of bad.
Well, we should enjoy what time we have together while we can.
All too soon, the third years will graduate. And you'll be returning to your hometown, correct? With that in mind, even our most mundane moments together feel precious in a way.
Huh. I mean, he's wearing his Shujin Academy uniform, So is this supposed to be... Is this supposed to be winter? We won't be apart for long.
Right! And it's not like we're bad at keeping in touch. We might end up a little farther away, but we'll still visit each other.
Of course. Even when we're in college, I'll still find time to come see you all.
Yeah, we'll make plenty of plans. Oh, like going to the beach.
You know I'm down. I'm gonna wow the babes for sure this time.
You never learn, Ryuji.
So this is before
Perhaps that's the
Haru
opportunity
and...
I've been waiting for. I believe I've designed the perfect swimsuit. It's eco-friendly,
Makoto
allowing me to enjoy
are
the
still in
beach with the
school.
minimum amount of fabric needed.
Please stop making me picture that.
Oh, sorry if I set that conversation off track.
You're fine. We've just got an awful lot to look forward to after graduation.
Sure do. And why not enjoy the time we have now, too? Hit me with another soda.
Oh, brother. You're the one who could use some self-restraint.
And now, our report on Toshiro Kasakabe. The authorities' investigation into the Diet member's apparent disappearance continues. Considered by many to be a strong candidate for Prime Minister, where could he have gone with the election so close?
A fair contingent of voters look to him as the fresh new face of national politics, so his absence is concerning.
Yes, ever since Kasakabe entered the Diet, his support from the public has only grown. It's no surprise that his disappearance has rocked the political world.
Whether it's due to illness, an accident, or something worse, all we know so far is that rumors are spreading fast.
Man, the net's going crazy about him too. There are at least half a dozen conspiracies at this point.
Yeah,
They've been
political
covering him quite a bit on
conspiracies.
television lately. Lots of future prime minister speculation. Someone like that suddenly disappearing. I really hope there isn't more trouble brewing. Haven't we been through enough? Do we seriously have to go through some DLC too?
Ha 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 ha.
I don't know
Very
anything
funny.
about the guy, but maybe he's just dealing with some family stuff.
As the investigation continues,
Ew.
What the?
What's wrong with the TV?
Persona 4 crossover?
Huh? The hell? What happened to the TV?
The remote stopped working. What's happening? Ow. Huh?
What the what?
Wow, it's floating. No, it's frozen in place.
Bullet? Bullet time? Joker has awakened his mom's ability. Witching time.
Hey, why is it so quiet outside?
I'm not sure. But it's completely dark out as well.
This eerie sensation. I hesitate to say it, but could we have entered the metaverse?
It can't be. I mean, there's no way. It was... Yeah. And the metanav should be gone entirely.
Okay, so this is
Not only that,
post
I still look the same. And so do you.
Royal.
And what the hell's going on?
Pre scramble or strikers. I have no clue.
Rather than discuss the situation, perhaps we should begin investigating.
Hey, look.
There's a mysterious symbol hovering in the light.
The door. It's glowing. This is just Soichiro pulling our leg. Oh, please tell me I'm right.
Well, I guess all we can do is open it.
It's like it.
True. It's not like there's another exit here. Okay, try Try the door, but be careful. We'll be right behind you.
Where the hell are we? We were just in LeBlanc, right?
This has to be bad. Oh, we're in our Phantom Thief outfits.
Whoa! What's going on here?
Trying to get away. Whoa! We've been spotted. Get ready, guys.
Hell yeah!
Who are these people?
No idea. But if they're attacking us, our only choice is fighting back. Let's split up and take them on. Got it. Panther and I will handle the ones on the right. And we'll take the left side. Let's go, Fox.
Well, that means we're plowing straight ahead.
Eat all enemies.
You bet.
Hey, bring it. Don't charge in recklessly, Skull. These enemies are packing heat. The sitting ducks here in the open. We need to find some cover.
Now,
Try taking cover over here. Movement and cover. You can move anywhere within your movement range freely. If you end your turn behind cover, you will resist enemy attacks, eliminating or reducing the damage taken. Bear in mind, enemy units can take cover as well.
All right.
Perfect position, you should be safe there. Still got clear line of sight. Fire ranged weapons by pressing X. Red line indicates a target can be hit, while black line indicates they cannot be hit. X to
Nice
gun.
one, Joker. Better safe than sorry. Joker shot hits.
Gun.
This is gonna hurt.
better get ready.
Be enamored by my own skull. Looks like you've moved to a good
Come
point.
on.
Enemy defeated. Show us some more, skull. Here I go. Incredible evasion. You're in perfect cover.
It's like that shot would have hurt.
Listen up.
They can't hit us here. When a unit takes cover behind a large object, all range damage from the front and sides will be blocked, and the unit will take no damage. Use this to gain and maintain advantages in battles. Who's ready to see me? Hold on, Skull. The enemy is hiding behind cover. Any shots you take won't be very effective, so first,
Let's go.
I'll get them out in the open. Both of you watch me. Perform melee attacks by pressing A when you're close enough. You'll knock them back away from you, and you will end your action on the square where they originally stood. A unit that has been hit will lose their resistance and become defenseless for the remainder of the turn.
Let's do this. Did you really expect anything less?
Brilliant, if I say so myself. Take them out, Joker. When you hit targets that are unable to resist, you will down them. You are given another opportunity to attack them once more. During once more, if you down, you will receive another once more. Try consecutively downing targets to keep going for as long as possible.
All right.
Nice one, Joker. Better
It's
safe
over.
than sorry. Nice, Joker. Enemy
All
hit.
according to plan.
All right.
Finish it. One more shot should do it.
Nice one, Joker. Better safe than sorry. Yes. Another enemy down. What? More enemies coming.
Keep coming, don't they? You just need to blow them out of cover and then show them who's boss.
Huh?
Passing command to you, take a cool head, assess the situation. You can end your turn by pressing menu.
Now it's my turn.
I'm just gonna stay. Oh yeah, I'm not in range. Gun.
Attack lands right on That's right. Keep it up, Leave Joker. It to me. Excellent position, if you ask me. Get ready for this! I can't help but be enamored by my own skill. Did you really expect anything less?
All right, let's do this.
Are you trying to hit me?
There is friendly fire.
Hey, you're gonna hit Joker! Are you trying to hit me?
If I go here and then go.
Watch out for your allies! Hey, you're gonna hit us! Are you trying to hit me?
There's really nothing I can do to
Wait,
not
you're
hit.
targeting an ally!
Don't run now!
Another enemy down! You're going to hit an ally!
Come on!
Alright, all enemies wiped out!
How you like that? You can't beat us!
Phantom Thieves level 1. Persona XP, null. Clear the stage within 5 turns. Party hurt fewer than 3 times. Oh, there's missions. Or awards. Good to know.
What the heck's the deal with those guys? I got a feeling they're not exactly shadows.
I don't know. Same goes for where we are now.
We found the rebels! Punish all traitors! Punish all traitors!
Where are these guys pouring out from?
Joker, use your persona. Take him out in one fell swoop.
See ya!
Alright, this time I'm up first. I'll show you the power of my persona. Use skills by pressing Y. Skills are not affected by obstacles, and attacking will eliminate the resistance of any enemy hit, however, cost you SP.
Better get ready! Let's get in there! Take that treasure, kid!
Another enemy down. You really know your stuff.
Expecting nothing less of our Captain Kid. Now it's
Get
my
ready.
turn.
It's over for you. Zoro!
Certain attacks that inflict ailments. Consult the tutorial portion of the pause menu for more details. See that? Check out my power. Swept him away, alright. The rest is up to you. Take him out.
All right.
Pause menu, you can load the tutorial. Ailments. Spare steals movement. Raising the user's movement on their next move. Sweep blows the target away, they'll fly over any obstacles in their path. Prevents target from moving. Knocks user away and damages them for 1 turn. Prevents from taking action, they'll be unfrozen if they take any damage. Pushes all surrounding enemies toward the target while dealing damage to all enemies caught in Vortex. Oh, that's pretty good. Lures the target towards the skill user. Hypnotized units will maneuver around any obstacles to get closer. Makes the target move at random. However, they'll be able to attack as normal. Prevents the target from attacking. Prevents the target from taking any actions. And they'll be awoken if they take any damage, and they restore HP and SP at the start of each turn. Blocking. Ooh. Light damage.
Persona!
Inflicts despair.
Take that.
That's all of them, just as expected, Joker.
I like that!
Good thing we wrapped that up. I'm kind of worn out. Oracle, how are the rest doing? They're just wrapping up now. Okay, at least that's a relief.
Huh? You guys hear that? Oh, it's getting closer!
Lady Gloria is en route! Prepare for her arrival! Make way! Make way! Make way for Lady Gloria!
Mario? Who's that?
Hey! What the hell's going on?
Jesus. What kind of Koopa Kid vehicle is this?
Who's the ruler of this land? And having your lives in my hand? That's right!
Is that freaking
Well,
Jessie from
are you ready
Pokemon?
to join me for the rest of your lives?
Sounds like Jessie from Pokemon.
Hello, people! Wake the hell up and seize them!
What the? Is she those soldiers' leader?
They have grenades.
How many of these guys are there?
Oh, bad news! I've got readings coming at us from all directions! No! We're trapped? We can't even fight at full power. At this rate...
We are the servants of Lady Gloria! She grants us our power, and we obey!
Ugh, there's just too many. Guys, run!
Hang on, I'm coming.
Ha, getting rusty, are we? Let's do this thing!
Whoa! Thanks for the assist, Skull.
It's almost like there's no end to them!
We're getting nowhere at this rate.
This is not looking good!
Joker, go ahead and lend him a hand. We've got it over here.
Skull behind you!
Huh?
Oh no.
Got one!
Ah! Oh, damn it!
Skull! Joker! Mona-chan!
We've barely managed to hold them off so far, and now...
And now you're all nice and grouped together for me. This is the last of you, all right.
Whoa! That guy's massive! Skull! Hang on! We're coming! Wait! Stay with the group!
At least one of you is smart. One more wrong move, and you know what happens.
You coward.
Oh, do you really think that was wise? After all, if I just wave my hand, your friend's squashed like a fly.
Screw you, lady! Just try squashing me!
Oh my. These mannerless little brats. They're beginning to make me sick. In that case, I've got just the thing for you.
Damn it! What is you?
Is
Keep your
Skull gonna get
mouth
corrupted?
shut.
Are we gonna have to
I'll
fight
show
Skull?
you soon enough.
That'd be cool.
And then you'll never dare to give me a lip again.
Damn it! Get your mitts off of me!
You may be crude, but you have quite an interesting power, don't you? Quite a mouth on you. Care to see what I can do with mine?
Huh? Oh yeah, she is gonna corrupt him.
Congratulations! You now serve me. Now,
That's cool.
your first order is to kill those rebels.
As you wish, ma'am. With pleasure!
This is a cool gimmick. Skull, what happened to you?
This is terrible.
Is he really gonna attack us? But we can't fight back. We don't want to hurt him. Defeat all enemies except Skull. Ryuji is left the party.
Now,
Joker.
Let's take down the rest of the enemies first. Be careful of Skull's attacks. While you're behind cover, you'll automatically resist. Enemy units can also take cover. Blah blah blah.
Persona!
This is probably dumb.
That's right. Keep it up, Joker. Time for my persona.
Probably just gunned him.
This is gonna hurt. Another enemy dead. Hit him another hit. Excellent marksmanship by me. This is gonna hurt. Another enemy down.
Can undo by bringing up the pause menu. This will bring you to the beginning of your previous turn.
Let's get this over with, shall we?
What?
All right. Let's go. Take this.
Another enemy down.
Nice.
Filthy rebels, your time is up. I'm going to squash you for Lady Marie.
Skull! You need to snap out of it!
It's no good. We can't get through to him.
Just how strong is her mind control?
It appears my kiss of love works on you, brats, as well as anyone else. As for the rest of you, your scurrying around has grown tiresome. But I'll put a stop to that. I'm going to make you all mine.
Go! Look out!
Everyone, get away!
Oh no. It's gonna miss me and Oriana. Yep. Knew it.
What happened?
We are the servants of Lady Marie. She grants us our power, and we obey. We shall fulfill Lady Marie's every last wish.
Oh no! She got everyone but us!
Woo! Go, Lady Marie! Lady Marie, you rule! Oh, yes! That's what I like to hear! Shower me with the worship I deserve!
What's wrong with you?
Really? Quick little things, aren't you? How awful! Who do you think you are to refuse me? How dare you dodge my kiss? Fine. We can just take a different approach.
What's with the collar? I can't get it off!
Well, are we ready to go for a little spin?
You know, for the original Persona series being about breaking chains,
Now, let's get ready for the ceremony. It's showtime!
I'm surprisingly bad at breaking chains now. Jesus.
Their cries of agony make this step complete. It's just like I've always dreamed!
Oh my god. She has an all-out attack. That's so funny. They gave a villain an all-out attack.
Marvelous! Simply marvelous! And how perfectly fitting for you two despicable rats to end up on all fours! Well, have you learned your place? Do your wounds hurt? Is this torture for you? Maybe if you lick my heel, I'll consider easing up a bit. The audacity! You've lost your comrades, been dragged to bits, and yet you still have this gleam in your eye. You really, really, really don't get it, do you? This is my kingdom! I rule over you! Both
Memo updated.
groveling and singing my praises!
Kingdom?
It appears you've chosen the most painful route. Perhaps with enough torture, you'll learn to serve me.
So first it was palaces, then it was jails, and now it's kingdoms.
Huh. You can't even pick yourself up, huh? That's what happens when you defy me.
Joker, run!
Can't have that happening, can we? I'm going to especially enjoy breaking this one. Oh, where to even begin?
Joker!
What?
What's the point? What's the point of the
Well, look
hat?
at you. Care to introduce yourself, party crasher?
Prosthetic leg?
The name's Arena.
Maybe just armor?
And I am the one who will see you overthrown!
Arena? Just who is this?
It's her! She's the leader of the filthy rebels making a mockery of our great Lady Marie! We know you've been scoping around in the shadows, so you finally reveal yourself!
Listen quickly, young man in catfish face.
Catfish face.
You call me a cat?
Whatever you are, we have to retrieve.
He does kind of look like a catfish.
You can get us away from here? But
It's our only option.
I'm glad you can read the situation. We'll be back. Trust me.
I suppose you're right. We had better listen to her. We've got no chance unless we regroup.
In that case, I'll lead. We have to punch through their forces. Follow me!
Right. Well, it's do or die time.
Really? You're bolting after such a grand entrance!
Peace. I'm out.
Don't let the rebels escape! Stop! In the name of Lady Marie! Lady Marie's wish is our command!
We'll be back to rescue you, everyone!
We're leaving the metaverse? Oh no. Marina, join the party. Okay, I need to be right back. Be right back. Sorry about all the breaks today. My stomach still hasn't recovered from the food poisoning totally, and I haven't exactly been keeping my diet clean to help it out. I've been sort of eating whatever I normally eat, just hoping my stomach will catch up. Basically just assuming that but still been having some issues. Arena, join the party. Reach the target with the entire party. There's a way through ahead. Let's go.
Hey, wait!
We got enemies here too. It's okay. You appeared here pretty suddenly, so they haven't had time to encircle us yet. We have a good chance of getting the upper hand on enemies that aren't fully prepared.
What if...
But now's not the time for fighting. We need to get out of here. When I'm battling, analyze units by pressing left trigger. This allows you to view movement and attack ranges. Use your active unit with left bumper, right bumper when you're... Even if you've already moved an ally, you can swap back to that unit again to utilize an action.
What to do here?
Seven turns, no one gets cleared. Failure if all allies get... Oh, all allies get wiped out. Okay, cool.
Persona!
All right. This'll wipe you away.
Now then.
Let's do this.
Here I go.
All right.
Leave it to me.
What to do here?
Let's do this.
Show me what you've got.
Now then.
Come! Take this! Persona! Arsene!
Nice going, Joker. Multiple enemies taken out at once.
It's over!
Stop! Leave it to me. The goal is still a long ways off. Let's do this carefully. Just look at this spot. I sure know how to pick up. This is gonna hurt.
Here I go.
Excellent marksmanship by me. Another enemy down.
Not over yet.
Missed me. Safe there. Nice evasion.
What to do here?
On point as always, Joker. Nice cover. Another enemy down. Let's do this.
So they still wouldn't be able to attack me if I stayed here.
Show me what you've got.
Get ready.
Here I go.
We're only halfway through. Let's do this. Time to get
All
serious.
right.
Now then.
Get ready.
Show me what you've got.
What to do here?
Leave it to me.
All right.
Oh. Won't get away, filthy rebels. Lady Marie demands your presence.
This is terrible.
Guys, please step out of it.
Danger.
It's no use, ignore them. Our only objective is reaching that alley.
Let's get this over already, shall we?
Shall we begin?
All right.
Let's do this. The goal's near. Don't let your guards down.
Here I go.
Nice. Keep it up.
Now then.
Get ready.
All right.
Let's do this. It's over for you.
Now then.
Leave it to me.
What to do here? Take that!
Super shot hit. Attack landed. Nice, Joker. On point as always, Joker. Nice cover. Another enemy down. Get ready. Get ready to hit it. I can't help but be enamored by my own.
Just leave it to me. Let's have some fun, shall we?
Here I go.
Not over yet.
Ah!
Now then.
Let's do this.
Are you kidding me?
Think I can evade this?
Show
I
me
can't
what
help
you've
but be
got.
enamored by my own skill.
All right.
All right.
Now then.
Excellent positioning, Joker.
It's over!
Joker takes out an enemy.
Here I go.
Nice going.
Let's get this over with, shall
Shall
we?
we begin?
All right.
Get ready.
All right.
Easy.
Now let's continue onward. I think we've managed to shake them. I've sealed off the secret passage, so they won't be following us.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can't thank you enough. We'd be in serious trouble without you.
Don't mention it. We appear to share a common enemy. After all, it didn't look like either of you were going to back down without my intervening. Marie is immensely powerful. Not only that, her forces are great. We'd never be able to defeat her head-on.
See. Sounds like you have a history with her. Please, don't take this the wrong way, but who are you? And what is this place?
I'm Marina, the Rebel Corps leader. And who are you two? I must admit, I still can't believe you took down those Legionnaires. Hey, your name's Joker, right? Why didn't you ever surrender? You took a serious beating back there. But no matter how much Marie hurt you, you never seemed to actually fear her.
Happens all the time.
All the time? Well, it certainly sounds like you're no stranger to dire circumstances. I need to ask you one last question. Are you two really standing up to Marie? Or are you actually just her pawns trying to entrap me? If it's the latter, then speak up now so I can wrap this up quickly.
What? When did this become an interrogation? Take it easy there.
Figure it out yourself.
It's up to me? What an odd tactic to take. I see. Apologies for that. Marie is very crafty. She's able to brainwash people into doing anything. This even includes behaving the way that you two have been.
So? Do you believe we're not brainwashed now?
Yes, I believe you two are being sincere. Marie has no tolerance for opposition. She'll hunt you to the end of the world if she has to. If you're looking to lay low, why not come to the Rebel Corps hideout with me?
What's the Rebel Corps?
I'll explain everything when we arrive. We're actually almost there.
I imagine it's safer for us there than out here in the street. Joker, let's go with Arena and see what her hideout's like. Considering how we have no idea what's going on, I think we just have to trust her. Plus, anyone who'd put their life on the line to rescue us must be pretty decent, right?
Thank you. You won't regret it. Shall we go, Joker? And you,
My name's Morgana, but call me Mona when we're out in the open.
Got it, Mona. Allow me to show you the way.
Why is Morgana so blindly trusting?
That's...
Welcome to the Rebel Hideout! That may have made it sound a bit too grand. It's really just a regular restaurant.
Seen it before?
Of course I have. That's LeBlanc. What's it doing here?
You two noticed something strange?
Yeah, dog,
Say,
that's our
Arena,
hideout.
How long has that building been there?
How long it's been?
Oh. Oh.
As
Cool.
far as I know, the cafe's always been here. We've always used it as our hideout.
This is just getting weird. They look way too similar to be a coincidence. When we first crossed over into the metaverse, we were originally inside LeBlanc. Maybe this is our own cognitive version of LeBlanc? No, couldn't be.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but we can discuss it inside. Come on. You two stick out like sore thumbs around here. Let's go.
Yeah, we need to see this place for ourselves. Let's go, Joker.
I wonder if they'll ever play with the idea of the shared persona world.
Look at this.
Because they all exist in the same world.
Even the interior's a perfect copy of LeBlanc.
Isn't it kind of funky? That's what I like about this place, though. Let me grab you some drinks. It'll just be a sec. Wait, what? When did you get changed? And your mask is gone too.
But I didn't transform when we came in. At least since your outfit reverted back, that means this place really is safe for us.
What on earth? You two certainly talk strangely. I've lived here for as long as I can remember, but I've never met people like you before. Well, people.
Oh, come on! You're really gonna get hung up on that now?
So, the two of you are in trouble? Depending on your situation, I might be able to lend you a hand.
That's awfully generous, considering how much you've already helped. And we definitely need to know more about this place. Arena, was it? For starters, could you tell us more about yourself? And this world?
I see. Please, have a seat.
Alright. I'm gonna call it here. I'm not feeling well. And I feel like I need to take a break every like 20-30 minutes. And that's not great viewing experience. So I'm just gonna stop here.
Time to write.
Make a save game right here. And we'll be back. Play more Tactica. I like tactics games. It's definitely a boiled down version. It's not like XCOM or anything like that. It's more like Mario and Rabbids. So yeah, I'll be back with this. I'm just not feeling well, so I'm not gonna tough through this because I know it's just gonna make the stream worse. I'm probably gonna play other games. But thanks everyone for coming by. I appreciate it. Probably not gonna be back later tonight. So thanks everyone for coming out. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of someone else. And I'll see you next time.